Hi, I'm Mary Poppin with Imagineer Systems, and today we're going to show you how to do horizon stabilization using the Reorient tool inside of Mocha VR. 360-degree filmmakers want to create immersive experiences by moving the camera. This can cause some challenges. Unstable footage can produce nausea-inducing results, so it's important to stabilize and smooth 360-degree footage when necessary. It's really hard to get great solutions with an automatic workflow. However, more control and visual hands-on changes can be done right inside of Mocha based on our tracking data. For simple shots, the workflow is predictably simple. All you do is track an object near the horizon and then use the Reorient tab to stabilize your footage. For more complicated shots, you can track multiple layers over longer periods of time and then use Reorient. And it doesn't matter if you don't have a horizon, you can just track and reorient using multiple areas because obviously there's no horizon here to track. Reorient comes with a special repositioning tool. We're linking the position to the tracked layer, or layers, and this effectively is stabilizing and smoothing the relationship between the camera and the tracked area of the horizon. We can either render back to our timeline, or we can simply export a rendered clip. So how does this work? Well, first we apply our plugin and then we launch Mocha, which reads our footage directly off our timeline. We're simply going to track an area on the horizon of our shot and we're going to hit track forward. Once we've tracked forward, we can check our track, and if it looks like it's sticking, we can move on to the next part of this tutorial. So we click on our Reorient tab and we show our controls. You can see that we have these horizon controls where we can adjust what the curve of that horizon is. There will be times when you don't have a nice straight horizon to work with. That's where this Reorient control comes in really handy, because you can really start to intuitively drag your Reorient line to match the horizon. I just find it easiest to adjust on the point where the horizon is the flattest. We simply match the curve of our horizon to our straight horizon, and we can render that inside of Mocha or back to our timeline inside of our plugin. Once our shot is rendered, we can preview this in our favorite 360 viewer. So here's our 360 clip before, and here's our 360 clip after Mocha. But what do you do if you have a more complicated shot? Well, you still apply the plugin and launch Mocha, but you're going to need to track multiple shapes. So in this case, I'm going to pick a couple of different areas throughout my shot that I can use to stabilize the overall really wonky camera movement that's in this shot. From here, I track forward, and once we've done our tracking, we can check and see that our surface tools are moving properly along with our tracking data. From here, we click over to our Reorient tab. We want to make sure the gears are on for every layer we're going to use to calculate our reorient. We're going to view our horizon and show the control for that. We can adjust our horizon to be straight across our scene, and then we can hit render forward to preview this shot in Mocha, or once your shot is rendered, you can either go to File, Export Rendered Clip, and you can export your reorient as an image sequence or a QuickTime movie. Or my favorite thing to do, and the fastest, is to save and close it, and then render it right back to your timeline inside of After Effects, using the render checkmark and the reorient module. Once our shot is rendered, we can preview this in our favorite 360 viewer. So here's our 360 clip before, and here's our 360 clip after Mocha. But what do you do if you have no horizon to speak of? Well, you still apply Mocha and launch it as normal, and you're still going to need to track multiple locations in complicated shots. So in this case, we're going to make a couple of shapes using our X-splines as usual all over the scene, and we're going to make sure we track perspective for all of our shapes. From here, I'm simply going to hit track backwards and see how that looks. Once our tracking data is complete, we can decide whether or not we have enough data. In this case, I'm going to track one more shape in the foreground and make sure again that perspective is on for that. Once we're happy with our tracks, we can move on. Again, we click on the Reorient tab, and again, we select all our layers. We need to make sure we turn the gear on for our layers so that we use all of these layers to calculate our reorient. We're going to view our horizon and show the controls. And this is where horizon comes in really handy. What I'm going to do is, because this is a frame that the horizon is fairly straight on, I'm going to try to align the horizon straight. You pretty much always want to take this horizon line tool and align it to the curve or straight line of whatever horizon line you're trying to ultimately get your comp realigned to. Once I'm happy with my placement, I render forward. Or again, we can save and close and render this right to our timeline inside of After Effects. And of course, we can preview it right on our timeline. Once our shot is rendered, we can preview this in our favorite 360 viewer. So here's our 360 clip before, and here's our 360 clip after Mocha. Please note that both the Mocha VR plugin and the Mocha VR standalone allow you to go to File, Export Rendered Clip, and this will export your rendered clip as anything that you need it to be, either an image sequence or a QuickTime movie, regardless of whatever host you're using. For these demos, while I demonstrated the workflow of the plugin inside of After Effects, the plugin also works inside of Avid. Simply go to Mocha by Imagineer Systems and drag and drop Mocha VR onto your timeline. To launch Mocha, you simply use the Launch Mocha VR button, and your module renders can be found here. Simply check Render and choose your module. To access Mocha VR inside of Premiere, simply go to your video effects, find Mocha by Imagineer Systems, and drag and drop Mocha VR right onto your timeline. From here, you can simply launch Mocha VR via the Mocha Launch button, and your module renders can be found here. Check your render checkbox and select which module you need to use. And in Nuke, you can access the Mocha VR plugin in two ways. You can either go to the Mocha VR button right here on your left-hand side of your screen, or you can simply hit Tab and type in Mocha VR. Inside of your Mocha VR node, you can launch Mocha VR, and your module renders are available via this checkbox and selecting your module render right here in your Properties tab.